Hello everybody, my name's Alan and you're watching Guns, Gear, and Outdoors Alaska. Today we're doing a review of the SIG Sauer MPX K. But before I talk about it, let's do some shooting. This thing's fun to shoot. Let's talk about it. Alright, the SIG Sauer MPX K. This thing is awesome. It's so much fun to shoot. You go through a lot of ammo, which is rough in today's ammo market. But now let's start at one end and go to the other. We got a regular A1 style flash hider on the front. The ports go all the way around. And one thing you probably aren't going to like about this is it does use a metric. I think it's 13x1 thread instead of the American 1/2x28. So if you're trying to suppress it, you're going to run into a little bit more headache there. Which I'm not sure why they did that for the American market, but that's the way it is. Coming back, you got an M-lock handguard. And this thing is easily removable. If you take out your front takedown pin, this slides right off, and that could be useful for maintenance or adding stuff on there, taking it off a little bit easier than working around the gun. So let's work. We got a full length Picatinny rail on top, and I just got a SIG Sauer red dot up there right now. And yeah, the mag well is really nice and flared. It's very open in the bottom. And these magazines, I want to talk about these magazines. They're made by Lancer. They are excellent. This is a 20 rounder right here. And they got steel in the feed lips, just like the other Lancer magazines. It's kind of a smoky, translucent color. Double stack, double feed, just like a gun like this should be. But the downside of these excellent magazines is they are expensive. You can probably find them between $50 and $70 a piece, which is really kind of a hard pill to swallow if you want to get yourself a few extra magazines. People like Glock magazines and PCCs and PDWs like this for a reason, because they're cheap and available. But I think this is a technically superior magazine, having that double stack, double feed. Very well made. But yeah, let's keep moving. We got our ejection port there. It's got an AR-15 style cover that's made out of plastic, just spring loaded. It's worked fine for me so far. And this is a short stroke gas piston system. This isn't direct blowback like a lot of other 9mm PCCs or PDWs or whatever you want to call them. So it has a little piston in there, and that helps reduce the weight of the bolt carrier group. You have less reciprocating mass, so that means this thing can shoot fast and flat. There's almost no recoil, and it isn't too heavy. This is a pretty dense gun because it's very compact, but I forgot what the exact weight is. I'll put it up over here. But yeah, let's keep moving back. We got complete ambidextrous controls. There's our magazine release on the right side. There's our, I'll go ahead and show you. There's our bolt release on the right side, which is very convenient for doing reloads. I like it than the paddle on the other side, but it does have your standard AR-15 style paddle, and it does have a magazine release over here as well. Our safety is also ambidextrous, got on the right and left side. And one thing I like for a right-hander is they shortened this one on the right side, so when you flip it, it's not really interfering with your trigger finger. And speaking of triggers, this thing has an absolutely fantastic trigger. This is the Chimney trigger model, and let me verify we're clear again. I'll show you guys. This is the best trigger of any factory gun that I've ever had. So got my finger on there, just slight pressure. Hear that? It broke. Did you see it move? I didn't. And then I reset. There it is, almost nothing. It is absolutely fantastic trigger. Lets you shoot it really fast, which is why this thing's so much fun. Grip has some nice texture on it. It's a little bit more vertical than your standard like A1, A2 grip, but not so much so. I haven't noticed anything. You got a little battery compartment in the bottom. That's cool, I guess. Charging handle is also ambidextrous. You can operate it from both sides. It's pretty low profile though, which I kind of like because this is a small compact gun. And we come back here, we have a brace. This is a pistol, and folds to the side. When it locks open, it's very solid, which is nice, but this back part spins around, and that kind of sucks. This moves. That's kind of dumb. I'm not sure why they did that. If you want to do a Form 1 and pay your $200 extortion tax to the government for this to make it SBR, this would probably be a good candidate for it. So, one major downside, this gun's been very reliable for me since I've had it, but I haven't got to put as much ammo through as I wanted to do the review just because of the ammo shortage and everything. I'm probably under 1,000 rounds, maybe closer to between 500 and 1,000, I'd say I put through this so far, but it's been very reliable for me. One downside though is the cost. These are pretty expensive. These go from anywhere to 18 to 2,100 bucks or so. It was pretty financially irresponsible for me to pick this one up, but man, is it a lot of fun. Speaking of financial irresponsibility, if you'd like to support me on Patreon for just $1 a month, I'll go ahead and link that at the end of the video. But yeah, this thing's expensive. It's a lot of fun. It's very compact. It's quality. You can tell this thing was built as a serious use duty style gun, and I think it's gonna last a long time. And that trigger, man, that trigger is the best part. But yeah, what is a gun like this good for? I guess if you need something that's smaller than like a carbine and a rifle cartridge, but shoots faster and easier to get hits with than a pistol, then I think this is a good choice. It's kind of a niche thing. Not everybody's probably willing to spend $2,000 on a gun to fulfill that purpose, but if you need to, I think this is an excellent choice. I definitely would recommend it if you need a gun like that. That's about all I got to say about it. If you got any questions, go ahead and leave them in the comments. Let me know what you think. And like and subscribe if you think I deserve it. And thanks everybody. Have a good one.